Did you know that 70% of VA disability claims are denied on the first try? That's right. Nearly 3 out of 4 veterans who file for benefits they rightfully earned get rejected. But here's the thing. Most of these denials happen because veterans simply don't know how to properly navigate the system. Today I'm going to share the insider secrets that claim processors don't want you to know, the strategies that can turn your denied claim into an approved one, and the exact steps you need to take to maximize your disability rating. By the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge that typically costs thousands of dollars in attorney fees completely free. So grab a pen and paper because we're about to dive deep into the VA claims process like never before. Also, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button to help spread awareness about these much-needed benefits. Let me start with a story that perfectly illustrates why this knowledge is so crucial. Last month we helped a Marine veteran named Terrence who had been fighting the VA for 3 years. He was living with chronic pain from an IED blast in Afghanistan, struggling to make ends meet while his claim sat in limbo. The VA kept asking for more evidence, more medical records, more documentation. Terrence felt like he was drowning in paperwork. But in just 30 days, using the exact strategies I'm about to share with you, we got his claim approved at a 70% disability rating. The difference? We spoke the VA's language. The first secret you need to understand is that the VA is not your enemy. It's a bureaucratic system with very specific rules and procedures. Think of it like a complex video game where you need to know the cheat codes to win. The veterans who succeed are those who understand these unwritten rules and use them to their advantage. Secret number 1. Timing is everything. Most veterans file their claims immediately after discharge, thinking they need to strike while the iron is hot. This is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Here's why. Your medical conditions need time to develop and be properly documented. The VA wants to see a clear connection between your military service and your current condition. If you file too early, you won't have enough medical evidence to support your claim. The sweet spot is usually 6 to 12 months after discharge when you've had time to establish care with civilian doctors and build a solid medical record. Secret number 2. The buddy statement is your secret weapon. This is probably the most underutilized tool in the entire VA claims process. A buddy statement is a written account from someone who served with you or knows you well, describing how your condition affects your daily life. The VA gives these statements significant weight because they provide context that medical records simply cannot capture. But here's the key. Your buddy statement needs to be specific, detailed, and focus on functional limitations. Don't just say John has back pain. Instead, describe how John grimaces when he gets out of bed, how he can't lift his kids, how he needs to take breaks every 20 minutes when doing yard work. Now let's talk about the C&P exam, the compensation and pension examination. This is where many claims live or die, yet most veterans go in completely unprepared. The C&P exam is not just a medical appointment, it's essentially a legal proceeding where every word matters. Here's what you need to know to ace this exam. First, arrive early and dress appropriately. You want to look professional, but not like you're trying to hide your disabilities. Bring a detailed list of all your symptoms, medications, and how your conditions affect your daily activities. During the exam, be honest about your worst days, not your best days. The examiner needs to understand the full scope of your limitations. Here's a crucial point that trips up many veterans. When the examiner asks if you can do something, they're not asking if you can do it once. They're asking if you can do it reliably, repeatedly, and without significant pain or fatigue. If you can lift 50 pounds but you'll be in bed for 2 days afterward, the honest answer is no, you cannot lift 50 pounds. Secret number 3, documentation is king. The VA operates on a simple principle. If it's not documented, it didn't happen. This means you need to be proactive about creating and maintaining your medical records. Keep detailed journals of your symptoms, including pain levels, sleep patterns, and how your conditions affect your work and relationships. Take photos of visible conditions like skin problems or swelling. Keep receipts for over-the-counter medications and assistive devices. But here's where it gets important. You need to understand the difference between treatment records and disability records. Treatment records show that you're receiving care for a condition. Disability records show how that condition limits your ability to function. The VA cares much more about the latter. This is why you need to be vocal with your doctors about your limitations. Don't just say your back hurts. Explain that you can't sit for more than 30 minutes without severe pain, that you need help putting on socks, that you wake up multiple times each night. Let's dive into the rating system, because understanding how the VA calculates disability ratings is crucial for maximizing your benefits. The VA uses a percentage system from 0% to 100%, but it's not as straightforward as you might think. They don't simply add up your individual ratings. Instead, they use something called the combined ratings table, which takes into account that disabilities can overlap and compound each other. Here's a practical example. If you have a 60% rating for your back and a 40% rating for PTSD, your combined rating isn't 100%. Using the VA's formula, it would be 76%, which rounds to 80%. This is why it's so important to claim every single condition, no matter how minor it might seem. That 10% rating for tinnitus could be the difference between a 70% and 80% overall rating, which translates to hundreds of dollars per month in benefits. Secret number 4. Secondary conditions are your goldmine. Most veterans only claim their primary conditions, the obvious injuries and illnesses directly caused by military service. But many conditions cause other conditions, and these secondary conditions are just as compensable. For example, if you have a knee injury that causes you to walk differently, which then causes hip and back problems, those are secondary conditions. If you have PTSD that causes sleep disorders, depression, or erectile dysfunction, those are secondary conditions. The key is establishing the medical nexus, the connection between your service-connected condition and the secondary condition. Now let's talk about the appeals process, because the reality is that many of you watching this video have already been denied. Don't panic. A denial is not the end of the road. In fact, it's often just the beginning. The VA has several different appeal options, and choosing the right one can mean the difference between waiting months or years for a decision. The higher-level review is often your best first option. This involves having a senior VA employee review your case with fresh eyes. No new evidence is allowed, but they can catch errors that the original reviewer missed. The supplemental claim allows you to submit new evidence and is perfect when you have additional medical records or buddy statements to support your case. If those options don't work, you can appeal to the Board of Veterans' Appeals. This is a more formal process that takes longer but gives you the opportunity to present your case to a veterans law judge. Many veterans are intimidated by this process, but remember, these judges are there to help you, not to deny your claim. Here's a crucial tip that can save you years of waiting. You can pursue multiple appeal tracks simultaneously. You can file a higher-level review while also gathering new evidence for a supplemental claim. This parallel processing can significantly speed up your case. Secret number 5. Know your effective date. This is the date that determines when your benefits start, and it can mean the difference between thousands of dollars in back pay. Generally, your effective date is either the date you filed your claim or the date your condition began, whichever is later. But there are exceptions. And understanding these exceptions can put significant money in your pocket. For example, if you file a claim within 1 year of discharge, your effective date can be as early as the day after discharge. If you're filing for a condition that was caused by another service-connected condition, the effective date can be backdated to when the secondary condition began. These nuances are why it's so important to understand the system or work with someone who does. The final secret I want to share is about mindset. The VA claims process can be frustrating, time-consuming, and emotionally draining. Many veterans give up after the first denial, thinking the system is rigged against them. But here's the truth. Persistence pays off. The veterans who succeed are those who treat this process like a marathon, not a sprint. They understand that each piece of evidence, each medical appointment, each appeal is building toward their ultimate goal. Remember, you earned these benefits through your service and sacrifice. The VA system exists to provide them to you. By understanding these insider secrets and applying them strategically, you can navigate the claims process like a pro and get the benefits you deserve. The difference between success and failure often comes down to knowledge, preparation, and persistence. Now you have the knowledge. It's time to take action.